Chapter 6, In Memoriam, missing since January, let's play, you know the drill. So welcome back, we're in EPITECH, which is in the first part of the TAIR level. We left off here, we found out about Helena Whitford after assembling these photographs, and I asked to see if anyone could find her date of birth. It was a pretty easy find. Came from Ferris over on the forums here. As well as additional information from the Oxford student website. Apparently she went to Oxford College. But anyway, on her personal website, it has her date of birth, as well as her diary, which is a very interesting read. If you haven't loaded it up yet, I suggest doing so. Gives some background on why she was selected by the Phoenix, apparently to be a victim, and as well as a message that may have actually been from the Phoenix, trying to lure her into his trap. So anyway, we'll fill in the DOB here. Was July 9th, which is formatted 9/7 because she was in Europe. And that will solve this one, so thanks Ferris for that. And it looks like we'll have another film clip here coming right up.
Au nom de l'ensemble du personnel, je vous souhaite la bienvenue à bord d'Instant. Notre train desservira la gare d'Ashford.
Several months went by after my article on Volker had been published. Karen had returned to Amsterdam, but kept in touch. After several weeks of investigating, without coming across the slightest lead, I gave up on ever trying to get to the bottom of Volker's murder. I was working on a report in London when I happened to come across an article in a local paper that rekindled my interest in the Volker case. A student at had been murdered. The mention of an esoteric ritual associated with the solar cult was cause enough for me to set out for that very evening.
So that was our first on-video reference to esoteric rituals. I hinted at that in an earlier installment. They like that word a lot in this game. So anyway, it looks like Jack and Karen's investigation is kind of stalled after Volker. But things might be picking up very shortly as we start TAIR. So this puzzle is actually really straightforward, just based on what we know. We have two pictures here, and a note that says College OX, or OX1 under it. So we know, just from the previous puzzle here, that Helena Whitford went to Oxford University, so College OX. It fits. So what the game is looking for, because Phoenix said that he chooses with precision, is that he's looking for the map coordinates for Oxford University, which you can look it up any number of sources online, but what it actually is 5145 north and 115 west. So you just got to kind of format it the way the game prefers here as 051N45 and 001W15. It's solved. Pretty easy, right? So as we start to get deeper into the game here, it seems like the Phoenix is getting a little more casual in his messages, a little more intimate or familiar.
The college warden agreed to give me a few details on the circumstances surrounding the murder. The murderer had apparently gained access via a secret door and strangled his victim during some sort of macabre ceremony. The warden gave me the telephone number of the inspector leading the investigation. We arranged to meet at a pub in Enfield.
Are you Jack Lasky? Yeah. I'm Michael Finson from Scotland Yard. I've got something for you. We found the girl in the basement. It was horrible. It looked like some kind of ritual murder. She'd been strangled with a rope. She had a burn mark on the front. A symbol, like a female symbol. You know, the cross. These are the pictures. Pretty girl.
A sect? A role-playing game that went wrong? The inspector was at a loss to explain what had happened. After seeing the photos, I decided to carry out my own investigation.
So as Jack continues his investigation in Oxford, we're going to go to the next section of Terra. That was just the first. There are an awful lot of puzzles in this section swimming around, as you can see. We're obviously not going to get to all of them today, but we will, of course, eventually get to them. First one up, let's see. I think I'd like to do... where is it? Athoub. There you go. Let's do that one first. So the goal of this puzzle is to assemble the 4 portraits of the planets, and you can either enlarge or shrink them with this little beating heart chamber here. If I pull the pin out, it enlarges them. If I pull it in, or push it in, it shrinks them. And then we have to put them in the correct order down below. So what I tend to do to make this a little easier is enlarge the pieces as much as you can. It's larger than will be needed to solve the puzzle, but it helps just to recognize what goes together with what. And you can always shrink them down later. So I'll just dump a bunch in here. Go a little quicker. Does this go together? No. But that one does. So let's see, we're looking for Sol, Mars, Saturnus, Saturn, and Mercury? The Phoenix is chastising me there because the game believes that I'm attempting to put a piece inside the frame, which if it's incorrect it'll kick it out, so I'm trying to just sort of assemble these outside of the frame for now. That doesn't match. One thing that helps with this puzzle is that all the puzzle pieces have the same shape, so you can kind of match like for like on these. Just dumped a bunch more in here. This one looks like it goes down. Nope. What about this one? Nope. That goes there, which means this one does too. Okay. So we got one almost done, and one assembled. Does this go here? Maybe. I think it does, yeah. Put that there. Doesn't match. Yeah, that works here. So I've really been enjoying all the speculation that's been going on in the forums about what the Phoenix's motivations might be with all this, or what the connections might be. I'm really racking my brain here, maybe you can help me, on what the connection may be between the Volker killing, 30 plus years ago, and the more recent ones that I suspect the Phoenix is doing. We have the Oxford investigation going on right now. So where's it link up? Alright, almost done here. Just got a couple more pieces. This goes here. That goes there. Okay. So we need to figure out, of course... Right. I tried to put it in the box. We need to figure out which portrait represents which planet. And put them in the correct order that the Phoenix specified. Now, I think the first one is pretty easy. The first one's Sol. It's probably this guy here, the one with the sun on his head. So I'm going to shrink the pieces down and start putting them in the puzzle. And it is accepting them, which is a good sign. At least I'm getting them to roughly the right size. Possibly even the right position. Now, there's probably some sort of other way to research what goes with what, but I found it's best to just kind of trial and error this and try to logic it out. Alright, so there's Sol. Next comes Mars. Yeah, I'm willing to bet it's this guy up here, because Mars is god of war, and he's holding a big-ass sword, kind of like the Buster Sword Cloud has in Final Fantasy VII. That's what it makes me think of every time I see it. So we're going to put him in second, which leaves Hermes and Saturn. Now, I'm leaning towards the old dude as Saturn, because I can't remember why I think this, but I always seem to remember that Saturn is associated with spring. And I might be completely off base there. Somebody might pull out some Wikipedia entry and correct me. But I think Saturn is associated with spring, and him holding the plants there is a symbol of that. So I'm going to shrink these down now, put him in third, which would put Hermes last. Through basic process of elimination. Solves it. Looks like we've got the right order. So with that puzzle complete, we have many more left. But it looks like for today we only have time to start one more. So let's go with BROUS next. Really not liking this trend here, because it looks like we might have yet another victim on our hands from that last video. Yep, at least one. Since clearly the one in Oxford wasn't the first, because that was a she, but this is a he. His father will give you the last name, but the first name is the password for this. So let's look at the clues. We got a scenic picture. We have what looks like a subway or maybe a bus map of Naples, and a picture of presumably the victim, and a business card for Felice Maggioli. That presumably is the father. The phone numbers aren't really visible, but it looks like the website is, so somebody might want to check that out. c-massioni.com. So that's the father, and we need to find the son's first name. That guy right there. So that will be the puzzle of the day, puzzle of the week, however long this takes. We've got one new email here. Looks like it's the autopsy report for Helena Whitford that Gary, FE256, dug up. I'll post the full text of this, along with anything else I receive after recording, off to the forums. So there we go. I need the first name of Mr. Maggioli here, or as the Phoenix refers to him the first sacrificial victim, which is very worrying. So that's all for this installment. Thank you, as always, for continuing to watch these, and thank you for your theories and discussions on the forums. I look forward to reading more of them and participating in them, and I'll see you next time.